Hey guys, Fatigue here, and today we are back in Blackwing Descent with my guild, SMK, fighting the blind dragon Atramedes of Blackwing Descent here. Now, it has been a while since I've done one of these raiding videos. It's been a while since I've raided in general. I've had a lot of real-life things going on, midterm exams. Those always get in the way. I've pretty much been studying during the raiding times this week. And last week, I've had musical events, musical practices, musical things going on during raid events, so that prevented me from raiding. So I missed the first Maloriac downing, but I will still get footage of that the next time I'm in a raid where we do kill Maloriac. Just, have footage on the channel because it'd be pretty cool to get every boss of Cataclysm on here, I think. But so here we are with Atramedes, and keep in mind, this is not meant to be like a high-quality tank spot guide of how to do Atramedes, but I want to give you guys the general idea of how to kill the dragon. And of course, at the end of this run, it holds the classic SMK style of downing a new boss, which I'm sure you've all become used to by watching my videos, which is just basically it goes to Havoc in the last 20%, and of course there's going to be some fun vent audio to accompany that, so the last minute of this video will be vent audio of the downing. So, let's talk about Atramedes. Atramedes, this guy's basically don't stand in everything or you will die. You see that big circle in the middle of the screen there? That circle is what is pretty much your sound gauge. And what happens, so this guy's blind, so he's pretty much using his ears to gauge where he's going to kill everyone. And when your sound gauge gets really, really high, when it gets to 100 sound, you die. Pretty much is going to get to 100 sound and you will die. Atramedes has two phases. What you just saw was the ground phase, and what you're seeing right now is the air phase. I'm going to explain the ground phase first, even though you're watching the air phase, because that's what happens in order. So in the ground phase, as you're going to see after the air phase is over, because we're in the air phase right now, sorry for stumbling on my words a little bit there, you are going to see these big circles like you're seeing on the ground here, these sound wave type things, except they're going to be flying at you like slow, big cannonballs, right? Atramedes is going to be on the ground. He's going to be firing these big sound waves at you. All right, he's back on the ground, so pretty much perfect for explaining the ground phase again. Start over again. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. All right, so basically, range stack up, melee stack up. He's going to do this big ability, sound waves, where he's going to shoot sound waves at you. Everything is related to sound waves here because he's judging everything on the sound. So he's going to do an AoE sound wave, going to hit everyone in the raid. Nothing you can do about that except heal through it. And as you just saw, he's going to shoot those slow portals at you, and you will take sound damage and damage if you get hit by that. So move away from that. It's moving really slowly. You should be able to move out of the way of that. Just move out of the way. And his next two abilities are probably his two most important abilities. Sonic Breath and Searing Breath, I do believe they are called. What happens on Sonic Breath is... Alright, Searing Flame, excuse me. What happens on Sonic Breath is he's going to target one person in the raid. That person is going to have the most sound. It's going to target the person with the most sound in the raid. What he's going to do is that flame is going to follow them. They are most likely going to want to run clockwise or counterclockwise based on whatever, direction your guild wants them to run, either clockwise or counterclockwise. We did clockwise because we started on the left side and we wanted them to run clockwise. See him running back there? That's what you want to do. If you get hit by the fire, you will most likely die and you'll take sound. So if you don't die by the fire, you'll die by your sound gauge, which isn't particularly a good thing to happen to you. And his other ability in the ground phase will be Searing Flame, and basically what's going to happen is you want to hit the gongs to interrupt it because it will do mucho damage and will hurt. And when you interrupt it, he's going to go into a dazed state for a few seconds, and you will do extra DPS to him, and everyone's sound gauges will reset. Okay, phase 2, the air phase. Basically, what's going to happen in the air phase is he's going to fly up in the air. Obviously, it's the air phase. And he's going to be shooting everything you could possibly imagine down at the raid. You see those sound beams? He's going to be shooting those sound beams. They're going to be on the ground, but he's going to be shooting missiles into the sound beams. And if you stick around in those circles for too long, you will die. He's going to be shooting comets down at you that you have to avoid. And he's going to be doing, of course, the Searing Breath again. Now, you're going to have to use the gongs to interrupt him again. And the last person who uses the gongs is going to be the next person to be targeted by Sonic Breath. So that's a little keynote thing, so you know. Keynote, what am I, freaking Steve Jobs talking about the next Apple product? It's going to be a key for you to know who's going to be the next person targeted by Sonic Breath. Now, keep in mind, whoever is targeted by Sonic Breath, just keep away from them. Do not run through them, because you will die. You see? And what's going to happen after the air phase is going to go back into ground phase, as you saw, and the whole thing is going to reset. Now, I got really lucky right there. My sound gauge was, like, all the way up. Now, I should have died, but just as he was going to turn and basically rape my face, we hit the gong, sound gauge reset. So clutch. Now, I'm getting higher again, so I'm getting really, really, really worried here. Because, again, this is my first raid in 2 weeks. I do not want to fuck this up. Like, I've been doing horrible on raid attendance. Like, everyone in my guild thought I was dead. Like, I mean, come on. Now, right there, I sort of ran through the flame, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to die. But luckily, it didn't hit me. But again, my sound gauge is almost peaking again. I'm, like, freaking out right here. So, enough with my feelings of the fight. Basically, for you DPS, don't be too concerned about your DPS on this fight. And no, I don't just use that as an excuse as if I'm doing bad on the damage meters. I actually did quite well on the damage meters for this fight. But you do not want to worry about your DPS because you just want to focus on being alive. Being alive will be worth way more than the extra 200,000, the extra 2,000 DPS you could have in this fight if you just stood still, because you'll die if you just stand still. During the air phase, you always want to continually move. Hunters, obviously, you can put on Aspect of the Fox and just spam Cobra shots up at him. That always works. So, after, I think it was either 2 or 3 air phases, we switched sides to the other side and just carried on the ground phase, rinse and repeat, same abilities. Basically, if your guild is able to not stand and stuff and you have decent DPS, because this goes back to the gongs. This guy has a soft and rage timer, so what's going to happen? You have 10 gongs to interrupt the searing flames. Pretty much, if you don't interrupt those flames with the gongs, well, if you don't interrupt those flames with the gongs, you'll die. But after you interrupt the flame with the gong will go away. You have 10 gongs. So make sure you have a reliable person to hit the gongs at exactly the right time. And you have to make sure you have decent DPS, because I think we got down to about 3, maybe 2 left by the end of this one. And that was because people died. So if you could keep your entire raid alive, that will be prime for this fight. You'll be able to down him, no problem. Pretty much, if you're going into this fight blind, you don't know anything, well, clearly if you're watching this video right now, you know about the fight. And why I'm saying this right now, just don't stand in the anything. When there's a big beam of fire coming out of his mouth, move away from it as fast as you can. Do not hesitate if you're being tracked by sonic breath, because if you hesitate even for a second, you're dead. If you think about going back the other way, you're dead. Just run, announce over vent which way you're moving. If you're going to change up the direction, say, I'm moving clockwise or counterclockwise, that everyone knows who's on that side of you to get out of the way. And also be aware of the other people in your raid who have it. So I know I always say these aren't meant to be a guide, but I always end up rambling on and on for like 6 minutes about the boss fight in a guide type manner. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. We got about a minute left here before I am going to switch it into vent audio gear. So again, thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped. If this is the first video of mine you see, then please check out my channel. Post a lot of content on there. Some Let's Plays, some StarCraft 2 shoutcasts. Always try to keep my videos as entertaining as possible. Of course, if you like this video, please like it. And if you didn't, please dislike it. And if you dislike the video, please provide constructive criticism, because it only helps my videos better. And if you like the video, of course, comment on it, because your feedback, of course, helps make my videos better. So again, thanks for watching, guys. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Please enjoy the vent audio.
Hit that gong, man. I need it bad.
Okay, we're good.
Just hit it. Doesn't even matter. Get searing.
Hit it.
Oh shit, searing flame, searing.
There you go.
Oh my
god.
Fuck, burn.
Anytime we
Oh
needed
my.
a one.
Take him down.
You still
take
got
him
a
down,
sonic
come
breath. Stop. Sonic breath is coming soon.
Oh my god!
Fuck, burn him.
It's on corner.
Sonic breath. Peter.
G fucking.
Can you bubble?
Yeah.
That's how you motherfucking win.
Good shit.
Yes, and the tagging necklace
Oh my
drop. Thank you,
God.
God.
Fuck yes. Good job, guys.
So good.
Oh my god.
Wow.